Rocking? We're rocking. Hello, my dear ones. I hope this catches you well. This is like February 4th, I think, or 5th, Monday. Moved into a bigger office here where my library is, and we just got more filming room in here because we've got a lot of filming coming up. So excited, so much. I had literally stacks and stacks and stacks of paperwork for 50 years, you know. I've saved just about everything, except for the hurricane took out a lot. There's just a few choice pieces here. I found a lot of photos, and I'm going to see if, Marco, you can put a photo spot on there where we can show you some of the old pictures of me and Jensen and some of the old pictures of, look what I found. This is kind of getting old, but doctor's milk may be bad for kids. Famous Dr. Spock. You know, and I mentioned that before. Even the United States Surgeon General, C. Everett Koop, said the same thing, right? Milk might be bad for kids. What are we talking about, right? So, poor C. Everett Koop, 1 month later, is not the U.S. Surgeon General anymore. They dumped that guy. And it's like, really? Then I heard I thought he was a good dude for doing that, but then he went to work, I think, for Monsanto. No, you know, but it's talking about pasteurized milk. It's once you cook something, you move it basically from an alkaline electrical source into a dead source, more acidic. You bond the chemistry. Anytime you process or heat something, you're going to tear the water solubles apart, all your B's and stuff, and then you're going to bond a lot of the carbs with the proteins, and you're going to get all kinds of stuff like that. And bond some of these proteins, and just they're all inflammatory stuff. That's why cooking your food, even though once in a while it seems to be a good balancer after generations of cooked food, you know. But have to move yourself more into a raw food stance, more like nature provides. You know, we've talked a lot about that. Matter of fact, what did I find here? Where is this? Oh, I've went over this before a long time ago, but this is how idiotic some of these people are. This is Mercola. And surprising health hazards associated with an all-fruit diet. Remember that? And he gives the story of even the actor, Ashton, that recently was said he was suffering with pancreatic problems because he went on fruit. I've never seen anything so horrendously stupid in my world as that. And we're frugivores. we are fruit eaters. And then, of course, when Yale came out with the fact that the body converts glucose into fructose in the brain, made sense because you knew there was no insulin uptake in the brain. Well, then how does the brain get energy? How does neurons get the power, right? Because you don't get power through proteins. So it does answer that question, and it's just sitting there in physiology with no finishing on it. Well, now there is, because you know the brain requires fructose. Neurons require fructose. And you've seen where in the regeneration site on our TV site, how we've regenerated connective tissue, bone, everything just on fruit. Of course, I will have to say the herbs were also there, and that's a big deal. So I can't say it was all just fruit because there were botanicals involved as well. But fructose, a simple sugar found in fruit, is preferably metabolized to fat in your liver. You know, this is the kind of bull crap that's out there. And this is the sort of thing we're going to answer these things in this B-book on human as a frugivore. We're going to tear into that fructose metabolism and things like that. As a matter of fact, I'm sent Pat. I've got fructose metabolism, glucose metabolism, those cycles along with methylation cycles. But they're complicated for the average person to understand. So I'm going to try to set these cycles up simplistically so one can see how the body deals with these sugars, as much as we know. Because remember, I would say 3/4 of physiology is theories. Oh yeah, remember still in modern physiology still believes there's no lymphatic system in the brain, even though it's been discovered in 2015 in humans. It's like, whoa, you know, so all these things like this. And of course we brought out kidney connection to the lymphatic system people should have picked that right up. But just like Pat and a lot of other A&P professors picked it up and goes, wow, that's it. That's how the body gets rid of waste. And so some of these things need to be brought up, but that means a drastic change in allopathic thinking. And that's rare to see that adaptation and that change. So it's interesting. But I will tell you this, a fruit diet starts what? Starts hydrating and detoxifying. And it depends what fruit. I mean, if you went out there and you got some inferior oranges that are bitter in hell, and that's all you ate, yeah, you're going to get a kick from that. But most fruit, of course, definitely hydrates, but starts a hydration cycle known as detoxification. And there you're going to see what's going on. Cancer, in a medical terminology, is lymphatic problems in naturopathic terminology. They're all lymphomas one way or another, whether they're skin, pick a cell, I don't care. What damages those cells and what system is involved. And it's not the blood. So, you got to tear some of that antiquated, I can't go anywhere with these theories, and that's the problem. They all have dead ends to them. There's no final answer to them. That's why it's autoimmune. So it's just ridiculous. So anybody that buys into that, and I'm shocked that Mercola would buy into that. If you know your body and you know physiology and you've looked at these things, you're going to know that's not true. Especially if you claim you're into health, natural health, because natural health is raw, natural health is fruit, berries, melons, and vegetables. Organic. Here's another one. Are strict vegetarians protected against prostate cancer? And the study says absolutely. Because what is it that damages the kidneys, which then hiccups back to the prostate, ovaries, uterus, but then everything else in the body? Right? And those are proteins. We want to know what damages cells. It's not going to be your fructose. That's your ATP, for God's sakes. That doesn't damage it. It's electrical. But exposing of what's going on with your lymphatic system is what happens. And another thing, and very important, we talk about this because this is all about kidney filtration, right? And of course, we brought out pictures all the time on kidney filtration. Very essential, right? So most people are not filtrating well. So that's a problem. And if you feel tumors and swelling, you're not filtrating, right? Your lymph nodes are swollen, they're backed up to the cell, and then, off to the kidney stuff. So this becomes the problem, is that you have to understand that there is a doorway out for these metabolitic acids and alkalis. You got ammonia and all these things created from excessive protein consumption. You flip both sides of the poles there. But by large, it is acid elimination that you see through the kidneys. And also, wait a minute, there's another kidney in the body, right? If there ever was a new organ found by the body, of course they already know it's an integumentary system, but the skin, your largest kidney of the body, important to sweat. So it's interesting how you have endocrine glands tied to these eliminated organs. Thyroid to the skin, adrenal glands to each kidney, and they involved in the process of elimination. For example, the rate of metabolism or oxidation by the thyroid creates heat in the body, which allows you to sweat. When you're cold and you have low thyroid, you can't sweat. And then if you don't sweat, then you don't eliminate. If you don't filter through the kidneys, you don't eliminate. So if you're on a high fruit fast and detoxifying and all this and you're not filtering, oh yeah, your tumors can grow. And I give the story of this lady in Canada. I forget, she had breast cancer and maybe something else. And I talked to her personally and she says, hit me. Hit you? She said, yeah, I want all the lymphatic formulas. I want all the kidney formulas. I go, no, whoa. We've got to get you filtering. She said, I want what I want. So I said, I'll do 2 kidney formulas and 2 lymphatic formulas. Against my judgment. But it was about 3 weeks later or so, she calls me and she says, my tumors are growing. I go, honey, I told you It's all about kidney filtration. And that is vital to understand because your tumors are going to keep growing. Because why? Your body keeps producing waste. Your cells are not going to sit there and go, you know what, since you're not filtering, I'm not going to do anything. Well, you'd be dead on the floor physically. So it's like, come on, man. Each cell can continue to do their job. They keep pooping into the bathroom, the lymphatic system. That's interstitial fluid. What, 75% of interstitial fluid is what? Sewer fluids. We just call the sewer fluids cholesterol or lymphatic fluids, interstitial fluids if you want. Depends where you're at. Same thing though. All travels to either you got your blood, your kitchen circulating around, or you have your sewer system trying to eliminate the waste and byproducts. It's simple and easy to understand. And until the allopathic community understands that and adapts that, they're going to be chasing rainbows called diseases everywhere. And then the problem with that is the humans get beat up and destroyed, and that's what's happening. And then you adapt this vaccine insanity. They're so hyped up on their own egos on this vaccine insanity. I found this too, and this comes from Educate Before You Vaccinate. And this is a site, Your Children, Your Choice, Your Rights. And this is a vaccine information coalition. I don't know how many years I've had this. This comes out of Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. I don't know how many years I've had that. But here's some of the ingredients that has been found in them. MSG for some reason, antifreeze, formaldehyde, aluminum, glycerin, lead, cadmium, sulfates, yeast, proteins, antibiotics, acetone, and it goes on and on and on. So I don't know, horse blood, sheep blood, rabbit brain, guinea pig, cow heart, animal viruses, etc. Well, a lot of this is true that they grow these in monkey kidneys and all kinds of things. These poor test animals, it's just sick what these people are doing and injecting in humans. They're like the mad scientists. And you have to understand naturopathy is the good old boys coming down here going, hey, you guys are wackos and you're killing way too many humans over insanity, over theories that hold no water. This is going on and on. Of course, now they're going to try to squeeze this 20 deadly virus, 20 times more deadly than the COVID. And of course, you got to have a vaccine for that. That ought to polish off the rest of the humans. Although you see them dying pretty off. And of course, I forget how many years the guy that created this said, but in 5 years or so, you're going to start seeing a huge amount of deaths from this as the lymphatic circulates. This one guy told me his site is still packed with it. And it's like, you thank God, because that's your lymphatic system. And thank God they don't understand the lymphatic system to show you that those people that are glomulated bad are not going to get the kick early on. Those that have a more free-flowing lymphatic system are going to get the kick right on. So you want to be real careful with that. Jake Gallen. That's a pretty cool picture, Jake from Australia. Look at that. Is he good or what? I love you, man. Appreciate the love there. Yep. This guy always appreciates every one of you because I know who you are and where you come from. Mm-hmm. No matter what body you're playing with. Look at this. CDC drafted alert for myocarditis vaccines, but never sent it. Yeah, the corruption. I think Dr. Tenpenny found that out how many years ago? I've been talking about her and using her stuff and trying to get people aware for what? At least 25, 30 years. And so these are the times you have to protect yourself because you see what's going on out there. The lies, the deceitfulness, the power struggles. The elitists are just lost their minds, And Al Gore's not really an elitist to me, but he thinks he is. He needs a padded cell, along with John Kerr. They put them both in a cell. These guys are trying to destroy everything. Now, this is another one I found. I got so much stuff for, like I said, probably 50 years of saving stuff. American Dietetics Association. You know, they get this off of the Olive Pass. We went in and sent all these, what do you call them, that goes in and tries to get the legislators to draft bills. They'll pick on somebody. I remember I was fighting the state of Florida about Nature Pass, and man, I was after him. And this chiropractor, who was a legislator in Florida, wrote me and said, you have to step back a little bit, And I'm going, really? You have been able to practice in the state of Florida, but you have to have a license, right? That means that all the past said, it's okay, guys, we'll allow you. Nobody allows anybody under the Constitution, but they send these jokers out here to buy off and bribe, and you saw that in Portugal. Dr. Baptista told me he was a senator, and they were trying to bribe him not to shut down Nature Pass and homeopathy in Portugal. He did just the opposite. So his story's out there quite a bit, and you just see all the past trying to buy it. Well, if your system is honorable and true, why would you need to do that? Let everybody make a choice of what they want. And American Dietetics Association obviously did the same thing. They tried to state legislators to block alternative nutrition providers and restrict free speech. And this is before the pyramid, but take a look at this. Dairy products, really? Protein products. Down here you'll find that the fruits and the vegetables are 3 to 5 servings a day, where your grains are what? Up to 11 servings a day. I mean, this is insane. This type is why people go to hospitals. And of course, those in the hospitals, like when I was in a hospital working, we didn't eat in there. We would go to somewhere like, I remember there was a Wendy's outside of these 2 hospitals I worked at, St. Joe's, and they had the worst cafeteria. Sorry, Catholics, but you had the worst cafeteria. We'd go over to another hospital right across the street. We have a lot of hospitals around here, a lot of senior citizens. So we were across the street because they had a salad bar. But then it was so-so. So Wendy's was just right up, $2.99, salad bar, all you can eat. And it was like, yeah, that kind of savings was good. So a lot of it just went right over to Wendy's and had their salad bar. Sad, when you're in a place of supposedly wellness, that you have to Ixay on the food. But dietitians don't know any better. They go to these American Dietetic Association schools where they become dietitians, and then the association trying to protect their dietitians and nutritionists. So they steal the word nutrition out of natural health, holistic health, and use it for themselves. And that's what a lot of people do. They steal people's names and stuff like that. And they want to use it for themselves because they can't stand on their own 2 feet. If you're true and right and just, you're going to stand on your own 2 feet. And I stand on my own 2 feet. Always. Crazy out there. But as I dig through mounds of paperwork, I'll bring you some of these things that I found, that's sitting there. Matter of fact, I got so much stuff from Jensen, it's not even funny. See if we can put a spot on there, Marco. And I was giving Matt some photos of Jensen and stuff like that. Just memorabilia kind of, so you see that it's a long history here. Okay. Now, I want to read some of these questions that you have here because I'm packing up, but we've been really involved all weekend in heavy moving. Oh my God. And we got all set up. We did pretty good. But this is a larger room. This was a conference room that we had. We don't have too many conferences, and I needed space. So I confiscated it. All right. So this is coming from Bogdan. This is from Romania. And health inquiry. Hi, team. Hey, Romania. Love Romania. You guys are cool. I hope you have a lovely weekend. I know you work a lot and really appreciate your... Oh, thanks. Appreciate that, man. Channeling the divine wisdom. I really try. Sometimes I get caught. Sometimes I get caught up and it's like, I take these things too personally because you guys getting hurt by some of this stuff, and I'm a warrior kind of guy. You get hurt by this kind of stuff, I'm after you. And there's no legs for anybody to stand on. If you don't stand on truth, you're on wobbly ground. And we like to come marching forward with truth on our side. And we got a lot of entities with us to do it. So, I am an alumni of Dr. Morse, and I was wondering if you guys had any clients with optical nerve atrophy. Okay, so right offhand, I've had so many people for so many years, but I'll tell you what, anytime you see atrophy, what side of chemistry is it? There's only two sides of chemistry, so what side of chemistry is involved, right? And then you're on the acid side sitting there, and so what system does that take you into? There's only two fluid-based systems, really, in the human body outside of water. So which one you going to pick? It's easy. Acids are what tears tissue apart. There's no question about it. You get into the breakdown of cells. And what system has to deal with acids? And you're back to the lymphatic system again. Plain and simple. Yeah, I've been up all night working. We've been up all weekend putting a lot of stuff together for you. This critical health issue is affecting a young girl, age 11. That's my point. That's why I do this. Guys, these kids, Jiminy Christmas, she's going to go blind. So, same thing. Oh, can't give her fruit because that causes pancreatic cancer. Get out of here. So, again, 11 years old. She's probably in school somewhere, so unless it's homeschooled. But this little young lady's got to go on a fruit diet. No question. Excuse me. No question. And you want to use herbs. What are you going to use? Brain and nerve, because you're there in neurons, right? You're going to use what? Circulation, because you want to move blood more aggressively in the upstairs department, right? But where's your focus? Okay, your focus is going to be on this. There's your focus in this 11-year-old. You might be up here talking, but the problem is right back here. And an 11-year-old, they have kidney problems. 11 years old in today's world, anybody from 40 down has got serious kidney problems. So this little girl's got a filter. You got to work on her kidneys, and of course, I'm sure her adrenal glands at 11 are down. So there's neurotransmitters, and it helps to enhance the autonomic to the optic nerves. So you got to do that and make sure she's, filtering and moving that lymph, because you got to get this out of here. Now, you could use the eye wash just to promote blood and lymph flow. That's why I created that eye wash. And get you a little eye cup. That's another thing. I just did a video on our Morse's handcrafted botanical store. We're opening up. We're kind of putting everything into this beautiful handcrafted botanical store. All organic, wild-crafted botanical products. They're just, I love some of these products that are out there that are incredible products that are all natural. And from PVC glue remover, just non-toxic stuff like that. But you've got to, you can use that to promote circulation lymphatically and blood. She could get a lot of mucus out of the eyes initially, so you can't worry about what you see coming out, because you're going to get some astringent action from that. And you want that. You want all this mucus and all these acids to come out. Plus it's a healing, very healing to tissue. Eye bright, things like this, very healing to that. So good. There's also a formula by Health Concerns, it's a Chinese company, but they make really good products here in America. And they have eye health, and they got raw eye tissue and things like this. Even though it's more like a supplement where you got your vitamins and some minerals in it, along with herbs like eye bright and things, and you have raw eye tissue, might be a nice little formula to pop with her and see if you have some, because you've got to stop this. The problem is it's hard to stop. It's like we were talking about earlier. It's hard to stop tumor growth if you haven't moved the lymph system to it. You can be filtering and still have a tumor in the left breast and not see changes because it's the right kidney that's filtering. So it's really important to understand how your body works and that you've got miles. Remember we show you the lymphatic system in the finger. I mean, you've got miles of pathways that you've got to open up. And sometimes these remote areas that are backed up, you can't make a change right, snap your finger. It takes a while. That's why you see dry fasting and water fasting popping up and things like this. A fruit fast, a grape fast, things like this, because they're powerful. They're powerful hydrate. Of course, water fasting is not a powerful hydrator, but it does allow the body total energetic move to clean itself. Anytime you can rest from consumption, the body, you'll feel it. You'll see it if you've done this any time in your life in terms of fasting or detoxification. As soon as you give your body a lot less energy to try to manipulate in terms of digestion and all the other processes, and you let it rest, it's going to turn its attention to, cleaning itself out. That's what it does. It's an intelligent being, in a way. Each cell has its own little intelligence. And so the body knows exactly what to do. And this is where dry fasting comes in. I didn't even have water, and look at what my body's getting out. Your body takes all that energy it has and moves it from processing to elimination. So it's always good to have some of that. That's why I always say, if you really want to have a good detoxification, pull away while you're still hungry. Don't overeat. Because when you overeat, there you go. And even with fruit, you can overeat. And then the body has to process this. Well, you don't get detoxification really well when you're processing foods. You can imagine the situation is not only challenging for her, but also deeply concerning for her family. Let me tell you, when you have atrophy anywhere, you're in serious trouble. You break down cells, you lose the structure function, whether it's eyesight, hearing, smell, the whole 9 yards. Except for the diet of raw fruits and herbs, kidneys, bowels, circulation, brain. Oh, gosh. You guys are so smart. I love you guys. You guys are so smart. You're the divine ones. I'm telling you, you're here and helping this planet. Although, boy, I look at it every day going, oh, my God, show me why. Because it's just, now what is there now? 60 species of aliens visiting us? 60? I don't know if that's true. I know a lot of them, but it's crazy. My questions are, what do you think? You would do anything else differently? No, but again, think about that, how get that girl's kidneys to filter, even if, get the fruit as much as possible. I know it's hard at 11, but if you have some control over this individual, I would really work with this. Again, here you go with child services and all these numbnuts like that think they're so great, or they want the money. And that's why this book on Man as a Frugivore is so vital for the courts and everything else, because you can't disprove anything. There's not going to be anything in that book you can disprove at all. We got science all the way to the door, man. So I think that's the order of the day. I don't know if she'll go on a grape diet or what, but these things are so powerful on the eyes. But again, you've got to get acids moving. Well, the blood, that'll just help you bring more alkaline chemistry to the site. That's why the circulation formulas. But in true reality, her problem is always going to be in her kidneys and adrenal glands. The same with each and every one of you. You might see a problem here, you see a problem, but the problem is lymphatic. And the more stagnant your lymphatic gets, the more you're going to see calcium draws and cholesterol problems. That's just, you either have lipids or you have calcifications involved in this. You guys had any clients with optical nerve? Well, we've had a lot of those through the years, but I just can't remember any particular case. But I had one guy blind. We got him to see again. I mean, we've had one guy, hydraulic jack blew up in his face. One eye went bam. They wanted to remove it. Got his sight back. But he poured with this eye wash. He started pouring hydraulic fluid out of his eye. Yeah, that was gnarly. But he didn't lose his eye. He's got his vision back. It was worth the focus. Because once you lose your vision, it's horrible. There's nothing to be subjective, but okay. 3, because she is a little girl and she sees others eat unhealthy stuff, what strategy? Well, there you go. All right, so you're just going to have to work with that. Sit down and be real with them. Use primates as an example. Humans are primates. And, get into the animal kingdom a little bit and show the power of these animals. I was watching a zoo program the other night. The Discovery Channel has a lot of zoo programs, from San Diego Zoo to New York zoos and all this. And they were putting this big silverback down. And just to put him under, they wanted to explore what might be wrong with him. I'm going, really? But powerful being that little silverback gorilla is, right? Well, we're 96% exactly the same genetically. So, there's only about 4% difference that makes a difference between a primate and a Homo sapien. So you have to use some of these kind of examples because these are true examples. And talk about that these are frugivores. And I think it's really helpful with this book, although at 11 years old, I'm going to try to put so much simplicity in it as I can, especially when I get into children and stuff. But I would hope Montessori would have adapted a raw food thinking years ago, because they're so cool at the way they adapt and give children the self-responsibility concepts and stuff. And I would think that this would be a perfect shoe-in if you're homeschooling and stuff like that. There's so many good raw books. And then we have the children's books written by some of our students. And I mean, they're good. The Monkey Book, we have several of them. So get her those books. We got them online there, and let her read them and show her. And that's why I love children's books by you guys, because some of you ladies are really good at that. I'm not, I'm kind of one of those old country boys but you mamas can find ways to talk about this to your children and show the unhealthiness of other children. And a good look at St. Jude's commercials. You have to restrain me when I see them, but the slaughterhouse of St. Jude's. But there's a lot of kids there that serious lymphatic problems. You're going right to the kidneys, and they don't know anything like that. They treat them with chemo. I've been there. I had one doctor, well, I'm not going to do anything Dr. Morse doesn't want me to do. Big medical doctor there, right? Nah, he did it anyway. And then they're touting they have now up to 70% cure rate. No, they don't. It's just pushing everything down the road. You can burn things out with chemotherapy and with radiation, but all you did was set that patient up for hell down the road. You can't kill the body in its parts and think you're making it better and saving the child. It just doesn't work that way. But that's the arrogance and the narcissism of medical doctors, especially oncologists. And you guys really, in my opinion, need to go to jail, Gray Bar Hotel, and spend some time wondering why you're allowed to put these kind of acids in a person's blood system. It's just insanity, in my opinion. These all children are very savable. Young like that. It's like I said, we had a 9-month-old. We pulled a tumor out behind her eye and saved her eye, but they were going to take it out. These sort of things. And children respond well to detoxification. They've got the power and things going on there. And so that's all I can say. I'm not real the best at children like that. I love kids, but not the best. I'm a dad of a couple of big boys. Oh, and the last question is, what team staff email address can I contact in the future for some opinion on some through cases I deal with? Well, Matt and Jason. Jason is handling the emails. He's my younger son. He is handling them now. And so Marco, we're all going to route that through him, so he'll be able to send it to the proper place. And so I don't know what that email is right now. You have to get a hold of Marco. There's a lot of changes going on here, and we've had to make them because we're entering a new year here. And I think you're going to see your old haunts disappear. Things are going to work themselves out. You're going to find yourself cleaning things up out of your life, getting rid of the unwanted. And that's at all levels. But you got to. You know, we're entering an age you have to understand, you have to develop the sense of freedom. Freedom is the keystone. I keep telling people in America, you lose what Arlington Cemetery is full of young people who fought for this. You lose your freedom. And that's what this whole Biden thing, this whole globalist thing is. That's why we have open borders. Who has open borders? And now we have so many military-age Chinese kids in here and everything else that everybody here is getting loaded with ARs and AKs because we think there's going to be a war here in our own country. Once you lose freedom, it's rough to get it back. And Paul Twitchell already, back in the 70s, said the next root race will be yellow. So it'll be real careful. And facts are facts. Whether you like to hear it or not, you've got to take a look and do not lose your freedom, no matter where you are. Because once you do, then you're totally controlled, and it can get real, real bad to here. You have to take this vaccine. Oh, whoops, killed you. Oh, sorry. Next. I mean, you got Pfizer recommending a deadly vaccine to 6-month-olds. Where do you think Pfizer stands? Right. So who's allowing them to do all this? Well, when you're corrupt all the way down from our law enforcement all the way down in the top dogs, you get some serious problems here. But they don't get it. They're also involved. These guys can be terminated at the snap of a finger. It's like the old mafia. Ah, you're my brother. Pop! Yeah. This is from Greece, 25-year-old. Spine neurological problems. Oh, myself. Hello, Dr. Morse. I am TASOS. 25-year-old, live in Greece for 11 years now, since I was 14. I have an issue with my spine. With a muscle close to the spine, gets sore, hurt. I have weird, probably a neurological. All right, so it's affecting the nerves, but it's a lymphatic issue. And your muscles, of course, that's where you're always moving, right? Well, when you're always moving, what is the chemistry? What side of chemistry are you creating through activity? It's not alkalis. These are your electrical side. These are acids. Lactic acid. I'm creating lactic acid. Okay, am I getting rid of it? And then on top of that, you're consuming proteins, which always has acid ash to them, high nitrogen, high phosphorus type of products. So these are all converts to acids. And then, of course, faulty digestion. Most people combine starches with proteins. So the digestive process of breaking a protein down to the polys and the peptide chains, next to none. So now you have these radical proteins going through the gut tissue, and then you got starch, which is like a glue. So you got all kinds of problems in that manner. Thank God there's malabsorption to a lot of people, I tell you. But it is a lymphatic problem. And well, wait a minute, a lymphatic problem means it's a kidney and adrenal problem. If you sweat, then it's not a thyroid problem. But if you don't sweat either, son, this is a real problem here. Remember, as the lymphatic system becomes more and more stagnant, swelling takes place. And what's the vertebrae made of? Oh, cells. Oh, and everywhere you have cells, no matter where it is, you have to have blood and lymph involvement in some way, right? You have to have energy, ATP. You have to have your food coming in, but you also, and that's no matter where it is, you have to have the waste removed out of the body, not recirculated in the body, removed out of your body. Vital, right? So when muscles swell, well, and a good thing, Ben was talking about that, how he got so much big that his muscles were so big, it shut down his nervous system. His arms were always numb. Scared the heck out of him. But that's what happens. Swelling then impedes on blood and nerve flow. So you can get ischemia easy. You see that all the time in infarctions and everything else through the body like that, whether it's a heart or anywhere else. And the same thing neurologically. And so that's why. And injury is the same way. You know, you've got inflammation from an injury. The body's trying to deal with the damaged cells, which are going to be proteins. And what if your body can't move that out? And that's when you see quads and paraplegics that don't get up after trauma. You know, you break down. And then you see compression, you see herniations of the vertebrae and stuff like this. All this, the muscles, all of this. And then you have spasticity. It's a nightmare. So number one, my friend, you've got to get your kidney. Oh, filtering. And this sounds like a broken record, and please let it be. You know, work on that. Fruit, herbs. I know people talked about dates, a lot of things. Dry fasting is probably the most profound way to get it going. But again, I'm only recommend 24 to 36 hours. And for you guys that are going out there 10 days, 14 days, that's not me. You guys are taking a risk, especially if you're really agglomerated. You know, your body gets backed up in so many of these areas, and you can see your ladies with the breast tumors and stuff, how difficult it is to open. But you got to open this up before this gets cleaned. Oh, this is your lymph. Oh, these are the septic tanks. Also, by the way, to the lungs. But then the kidneys are just hiding right back there. But you can't change this outcome without changing this outcome, and this outcome can't change without kidneys. Because without kidney filtration, how does your sewer system move? It doesn't. And that's what you see in most everybody that we're talking about. And that's how simple it is. I am not sure how I can explain. You don't have to. I've been through all kinds of things. You know, I had arthritis on my upper T-spine way back when I worked at the phone company. I was only 20 maybe, drilling and all this stuff, because I'm an old farm boy, man. We threw bales of hay. It wasn't like today. So, I mean, we had Christmas trees. You talk about hard work. Holy crap. So you're always, stressing the body big time. Tell you, farm work is hard when you're baling hay like that on the individual bales, getting them up in the hay mow, getting them up on the wagon. The first row or two, no big deal. They throwing a 7,500-pound bale up about 4 or 5 stories. Whew. Gets real. I am not sure how I can explain this, but when the problem gets really bad above a certain spot, my spine feels twisted and tilted to the left. Well, listen, my friend, this is how you get scoliosis. You know what? This is how your spine can twist in all kinds of ways, and not good stuff. Everything gets augmented like that in your body. Even your hands can go. Look at some of these people that model like this. And this is all just about acidosis and see you later body, see you later cells. Now, I had a case in a nursing home. This was a kind of a friend of mine had a small nursing home. Turned his house, built rooms and all kinds of stuff. And this court sent this case over to him, ALS, highly advanced ALS case. She was locked to her shoulder, and her legs were locked closed. Couldn't clean her or nothing. She'd just been that way for years, just locked down. We had this on camera. I don't know where the film is. God. But I'll cry thinking about this one. She just unfolded. Just unfolded as beautiful as you can see. This is what the body does when you bring hydration and electricity in it. Not when you eat proteins, not when you eat like these American dietetics people who are fruitcakes. These people are nuts. These people are the least understanding of what health is all about. And they put this in your face. And then they try to come after you because you want to help people. That's why in the future, these people are going to have some serious lawsuits against them, and I'll be proud to be a part of it. And just shut these people up. You know what? They're part of the killing machine. You know, you eat like this is what kills people. You know, again, young man, we pulled out a cardiac arrest at 8 o'clock. He's eating a barbecued beef sandwich and French fries in ICU. Died that afternoon. No kidding. You killed him with your food. It's just, you can't, This antiquated medical thinking has to die out. And some of these new medical doctors, young medical doctors, I'm really proud of you guys. I was talking to this PA that's a PA of my renal surgeon. He says, yeah, I want to learn about natural health. That's what you need to help you understand why. Because there's no whys in allopathy, but naturopathy's full of whys and explaining to you how this all works. Anyway, twisted tilt to the left, and with that comes a panic attack. Yeah, it's all adrenal kidney related. And you shut down those neurotransmitters, you'll go into a panic attack because it reverbs to breathing. Oh, yeah. So very important that you get on I would go 100% grapes. I'd go 100% grapes and get some kidney formulas, circulation, brain and nerve, a couple kidney formulas, get one lymphatic formula, and then go after this. And then you could use the connective tissue formula that we have, the calcium-rich formula that rebuilds connective tissue and the like, bones and things, strengthens these tissues. It is worst thing that has ever, oh no, I believe it, my friend. I believe you totally 100%. That's why I'm here 100% on your side. I also had another problem at the same time, which is I used to see everything tilted to the left. The whole view I see with my two eyes tilted to the left like a tilted screen. Yeah, well, this is the acid side of chemistry and what it can do to you. Chew you up, your physical body up, and take it back down to what? Atoms. This is an atom rearrangement. Creation just moves atoms around. You can't get new ones. Creation at this level is already completed. And you can see that if you get above that, you get into the causal world, you can see the future of this planet and what's going on. And you can see the past too if you want to go there. I wouldn't advise it. Sometimes it's not good to go back. I just have to tell you. Thankful these two problems are not permanent. They happen when the muscular spine situation gets really bad and the spine sensation less because you've got to move. See, and movement helps but increases the problem because every movement requires cell energy, and cell energy has its byproducts. Anytime the cell burns anything's burnt in nature, you're going to see byproducts everywhere. Burn a bunch of logs in the fireplace, what do you see coming out of the chimneys? For those that can understand that breathing of a fireplace is really toxic. Whew. I feel sorry for people in Alaska when in the winter you've got wood burning fire stoves and all this everywhere. And this goes up into the air. It's sad stuff. And then even in the cabins, and it's like, oh. When the problem first started, I visited many medical doctors, neurologists, ophthalmologists, orthopedics, wanted to check my ears for vertigo, but no one could help me. You know what, son? Why don't you send me a picture of your eyes? We'll have up there, Marco, you have this Dr. Morse TV question thing, but give me a picture of your eyes. Let's take a look at it and we'll reference this and we will look at that and see what you got going. So iridology is your first line of look. Then look at your spine, right and left. Take a look at what it looks like. Also your bowel structure at that level as well, because your colon and your small bowel relate to your spine too. So everything is connected. This is why everything is systemic. You might see it localized problem, but believe me, it's all down that one side. And you're seeing that side, pulling to that side. But we've had tons of scoliosis, severe, and I haven't seen one not get well from it. Not one that I know of. But there's always someone out there. But still, these people don't know. And you know what's sad? These are some good people at these levels. I mean, these guys have had years of study. They're trying to help people, but they don't understand the lymphatic system. It's not in the books. Little is understood medically about the lymphatic system, and we put it out there to give you almost a complete picture of it. from the job of the spleen, the job of the gallbladder, to the the lipids. Why does the body deal with lipids, and what system does the lipids deal with? And again, you got to realize it's this simple: kitchen, bathroom. You got to eat and you got to eliminate. Period. End of story. Sad, though, that you go to these many experts and they don't know how to fix you and tell you what to do. Sad stuff. But that's where we're at. At first I got depression, gradually stopped playing basketball and any activity I used to do because I never heard anyone else had a similar problem. Oh no, this leads into severe scoliosis, son. And felt like no one could help me and that I could never be like a normal human again. Then I searched the internet for solutions and found you. In the late 2018, I started watching your videos and slowly started changing my, this is cool. I stopped eating anything animal related, boy I would, since 2019. The problem didn't appear that much and I kind of forgot about it. 10 days ago, I started a yoga. Hello, I'm still here, even though I'm better. A yoga practice I was taught from a yoga center named Aisha. The first 5 days I felt better than ever, more energy, happier, better voice, but somehow I damaged my spine. Yeah, take some time and regenerate your body. Keep the activity minimal, and really yoga activity is not that bad. Stretching is excellent for you and stuff like this, but you're waking up to the problems, and so you really want to move this out. You know you can. Already you've seen improvement. Now dig in. I got the same problems again, and I think I'm going to go on a fruit. Yeah! Apples and oranges mainly. Hit the grapes sometimes too, son, because I want to get rid of my health. Absolutely. And make sure your kidneys are filtering. Go after this. I don't go on a fruit diet only for 10 days before because I always wanted to eat something salty after a while. Okay. So now, what did he say earlier that relates to salt and relates to what in the body, right? So you salt cravers, guess what's weak in you? Your adrenal glands. Oh, heck yeah, your adrenal glands. Whoa, the adrenal glands sit where? Oh, on top of the kidneys, one on top of each one, right? Oh, you got an extra one, give it away, right? That's medical thinking, really. Hey, you got 5 fingers or 4 fingers and a thumb, might as well give 1 or 2 away. You don't need them all, do you? I mean, it's just insanity to think stuff like that. Just insanity. And yet you put yourself out there like you're the... I am a university student on computer science. Yep. What's the radiation? Right now, I don't have any money to buy herbs. Do you think I can do it? Well, get a hold of Western and see if they have any herbs there that they can help you and donate to you. I know I used to carry a lot of herbs there that I would give. If not, let us know. I'll see if we have any donation money left here, and we will get you something out there if we can. But give me a picture of your eyes and send me your stuff here. Wanted to eat some salty. So we know immediately, and that's tied into what? Yeah, his anxieties. So anxiety, salt, adrenal glands, and then adrenal glands, kidneys, non-filtration, lymph backed up. Yeah. And then you got acids that are backing up. Well, acids are inflammatory, right? Because the body's trying to remember inflammation is not a disease. It's your body's immune response. Hey, I got a problem. What do I need to do to fix it? All right, so you dilate the blood, you bring in more alkaline chemistry. What does that tell you? All right, that you have an acid agglomeration. Significant compared to the one above. I have myopia, which I managed to regress a little, but I recently spent too much time on screens, and the regression stopped there. Yeah, I mean, you got to be careful. That's all I don't know what to say. I am balding. Oh, whoa, 25 years young and you're balding. Oh, my God. So you're backed up all the way up. And you got to stop that balding. I'm 74. I think I'm doing pretty good. Man, you got to get up in there and get your head drained, man. I am boy, and I used to have hypothyroidism. Makes total sense. So then you're not sweating well either, right? Or have you picked that thyroid up and then able to sweat, but somehow managed to get rid of it without even fasting? Never know. If you read this, thank you in advance. Thank you for helping others. Oh, you got it, my friend. Love you, son. Listen, we'll help you. There's help between us, the students, Marco, Grapegate. You'll get your help. And like I say, get a hold of Western and see if they have some, because they were telling me they were going to set up some kind of, help, whatever they want to call it. But if not, let us know. My son is a health center. He has, sometimes people give donations, and so you're just the type we want to help. 25 years old and about to lose the spine and everything else. I think that's, nah. So I tell you what, I've been doing videos all morning for other things. I'm going to come back. Oh, 5'4", 48-year-old female. What's going on, honey? Oh, he's followed me for many years. I've struggled always to get decent for him. Don't make me cry. I can't get crap here. The only thing, I've been eating the crap out of these little golden mangoes, but they're really small, and I have to wait till they ripen to get sweet enough. I did get some good mangoes out of an Amish, kind of like a little store. They were really good. I can't even remember the name of them. But most of these Haydens and stuff that are in these grocery stores are so stringy. Oh, yuck. And then they get too ripe. They get a nasty flavor to them. So, and then I haven't had a good watermelon. I've been trying to suck down watermelons when I had the stone here last couple. Well, I've started the stone the 1st of January. But I couldn't do anything but watermelons. And try to find good watermelon in Florida. It's an insult. Insult. These farmers are just insulting us right and left. She's got fibroids, perimenopause, but you're 5'4". So what gland are we talking about here you're having trouble with? Pituitary. Yep. And you can start your menses in the 40s or 50s because of that. But you'll get it back when you start getting the pituitary online again. I just have to tell you. Fibroids, lymphatic. Weight gain, probably your adrenals, and metabolism issues. Could look at the thyroid a little bit because that's rate of metabolism and oxidation. You can look at that, do your basal temperatures under your arms, and see what that is. And you want to be close to 98 if you can. You get down too low in the 97s and in the upper 96s, yeah, that's real hypo. Make sure your blood pressure is up there too. Check blood pressure both arms. I've followed you for many years and have struggled always to get decent fruit here. I stuck to whatever I could find, melons, grapes, and berries. No, we're doing the same thing. We got some good grapes right now, which is okay. The cherries, we haven't seen Rainier cherries here in so long, and I love Rainier cherries. Those are the orange ones. But we did get some sweet. I got some real dark sweet ones the other day, but that's rare. Most of them are hard. But I recently remarried someone who doesn't follow the Genesis way of life. I've fallen off the fruit wagon, sadly, and my body is suffering. It's funny how that is, though, but it's what happens to us. My mate is not a Rolf. She was for years, but Texan. No offense to Texans, but, she's an old Texas girl. And, her father had blinds and went after deer and all of that. So they're meat eaters and stuff like that. And it's like when you get problems, then you have to fix them. And so that's what goes on. I don't know what to tell you about that. I know females tend to give so much more, and they tend to, fall into that so much more. But you ladies, I want you to take your powers back. These males might be strong. Nah, you know what? You ladies hold the key to this survival of this planet. And now the key is love, compassion, things like this. And but become a warrior woman. Sounds like you already are on your way. And be strong in what you do, and bring your mate to your side, not go to their side. And that takes a strong person to do that. I get that. But females tend to be the givers of life. That's why I love them so much. Since lockdown, I've struggled with severe bleeding, which turned out to be fibroids. Yeah, you've got the lymphatic issues, of course, the kidneys, but then you got that pituitary brother sitting up there that's, going to affect your menses and your monthly cycles and just on and on and on. I mean, because your pituitary controls all the other ones. In 2013, I had to have a 6-centimeter cyst removed from my ovary. Yeah. Again, these are all lymphatic expressions, which was the start of my fruit journey. Good. In 2020, I started eating chicken and fish. Dating life. Yeah. Well, you know what? I've had all kinds of people around me, and I still order raw, or I still order just the veggie plates, stuff like that. You can be real choosy. Problem is, there's not really a lot of good restaurants that offer veggie plates like that. Lightly steamed or lightly cooked vegetables and stuff where you can have, say, green beans and maybe some corn and some type of potato. Of course, everybody wants to have a starch. I'm bad at that. Give me some of them mashed taters. But I don't know. We have a Golden Corral that has a big salad bar. And, of course, they have green beans. They have cooked carrots and all that sort of thing. But then you can get your raw. So I go as much raw as possible and, put that in there with that. But I like a little cooked veggies once in a while, especially in the cold. When it's cold, I like to warm up. That's a natural process of things. Now I feel overweight. Hands are swollen. Honey. Here's another. Lower abdomen is constantly swollen and suffering from hot flashes. Just back up. Just back up, because your lover or your mate not gonna, I had a little acne too all over my chin, which has since gone. Good. Because this is all lymph. It's like balding and all this, it's all lymph. And it's like, ugh. No, we have enough problems with that. But my period has come back after a month of not getting any. Pituitary. And remember, the pituitary also controls the adrenals, which sit on top of the kidneys, which are the eliminative organs for all those cysts, tumors, inflammation, swellings, that. I have also noticed that my right ankle is swollen. Aha! Which kidney? Well, who knows? Your right kidney is a problem already. What gets me the other day, and I've seen this in the hospital, you have swollen red ankles. It's always kidney failure. Oh, even the medical world has known that. I think they forgot it. I think they forgot about the kidneys. You see swollen ankles, or down here, the older people have that real red, really gnarly, the movement toward gangrene type of stuff down around the ankles and the lower legs. Guess what? They're not filtering. Yeah, and so, they're atrophying away. If you don't live past 120, you probably are eating too much cooked, too much protein. So we don't want that. We don't want this swelling in your body, sweetheart, which makes me think my kidneys aren't filtering. I love you guys. All right, use your wisdom and become a warrior woman, and let your mate see that you are going to tackle your health problems no matter what. Or when your lover or whoever is not around, spend time alone with yourself and give yourself some hugs and go, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm the one that has to be in this body. I'm the one that is on this journey. I'm pulling someone I like over to me to have some fun with them. But ultimately, I'm on my own journey. And when my body goes down and my body's going to die, oh, everybody, all my friends I pull around me is not going to be there anymore. Well, you'll have them in the astral world at one level or another, perhaps. Depends how fast you reincarnate, depends your karma. But outside of that, if you want to keep people around you and everybody's got to get healthy, then you can enjoy each other so much more. You know, have so much more fun. I started taking my female reproductive again along with my kidney 1 and lymphatic. Smart move. Smart move. But get your kidneys filtered, do 2 kidney formulas, and get back on the fruit. Ah, love from Scotland. All I say. Oh, I got the skin. Okay, I got to run now. Sorry, I know I got more, but I've got all week here with you. I'm all moved in here pretty good. This film's better with my library behind me. The white wall wasn't working out so well, and I had just a little bitty room. You know, when the hurricane took us out, we had to get what we get, and so we're crammed in. But we're making some nice changes, and then the owner of this plaza, she's a real sweet Indian lady. She's going to do something for us really nice. And so here comes Morse's Handcrafted Botanical Store. And then you're going to love it. We're going to have Sarsi. This is a lovely lady that we know and you all know quite well, who makes handcrafted jewelry from, I mean, you're talking million-year-old shells and shark teeth and megalodon stuff. I mean, she has some very ancient shells and stuff that, of course, in Florida, we love our shells. And, of course, we have shark's teeth everywhere. And, of course, the big ones from the megalodons and all of that can be found. It's just cool what you can find around Florida here and some of the places of just real old, millions of years old type of stuff. Just cool stuff, you know. But we hope that is a nice store for you. We're going to have, again, your top line organic products. I'm going to have some top line oils. We're going to have castor oil packs that you can easily use. Just fine products. Like Mary Gladstar's face cream. I love that. I don't know anybody that doesn't love her face cream. You know, things like that. When you're an herbalist and you come up with some good formulas, oh my God, it's just good stuff, right? And then, of course, you'll have access to my formulas, which to me are the most powerful formulas on the planet. I couldn't even take my own herbs with the kidney stones and throw them up. I mean, they're just that strong, you know. You have to kind of slow down a little bit. But you have fun on your journeys, guys. We are here for you always. And if you get stuck in a situation like this young lad, no money, this is a serious problem with the spine. This has got to be taken care of. And I mean seriously taken care of, son. You don't let this stuff go. You lose your spine, then you're working hard to get it back. You know, you've seen some good work with the quads and paras that we've done. Some fantastic work these guys have done on themselves to get themselves up and walking again. Lou Gehrig's, I've never seen a problem with that. But again, you also have the astral and emotional components to your healing. So you might have to get into your emotional body, but detachment. Remember the old Buddha and Jesus thing, you know, detachment. Don't let things choke you. You know, don't desire things. Just let the divine flow through you and just be a channel for the divine, because that's what you are in the first place. And guess who's channeling the divine? You are. You know, at a certain point, you lose separation of, oh, me and you. And at these higher levels of cosmic consciousness, you lose that. You start to lose that, because as you enter into the soul worlds and above, I think I have my chart somewhere, probably can't see it, but that's when you start to enter the oneness, where all life comes from the one. Love you guys.